Hi, my name is Kalyani. I'm a technical writer in Red Hat. And those who are new here, I am a open source contributor and I love to write. And that's it, yeah.
Hi, I am Yash Guddeti, and I am also a technical writer. I don't know how many of you have watched Game of Thrones, but it's right Game of Thrones reference. I'm kind of twinning with Jon Snow because I also know nothing, because I'm always learning what comes my way. Yeah, so let's start. So we have some questions for you. So have you ever squinted at your screen or zoomed in just to read something? Yeah, is that a problem for everyone? Yeah. How many times have you clicked away because the website was too confusing? Yeah.
Yes, so next point is 85% of users leave a site due to poor design. 85, this ratio is too much. And why? Because most of the websites, they don't think about the color palette. They are using the font size they are using or the language they are using. The links are not accessible, and that's why. And you can see or you can read the next sentence, accessibility isn't just about the disabilities. It's about convenience for everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah. So let's answer the major question here. What is exactly accessibility? So accessibility means making digital content, may it be apps, websites, any documentations, any digital content easy to use for everyone, including people with disabilities. And disabilities include cognitive and learning disabilities, blindness, low vision and color blindness, speech inputs, hearing impairment, and motor and dexterity. So, including all this, there are many other impairments and disabilities that people experience in their day-to-day lives, and we are going to learn how to mitigate them for all those users. So, why exactly accessibility matters? Accessibility helps people with vision, hearing, mobility, or cognitive challenges. Accessibility also improves usability for all users, not just people or users who have disabilities and impairments. And accessibility makes websites and apps easier to navigate. And also a fun fact that Google and other search engines rank websites that have been made implemented accessibility way higher than the websites which do not have accessible content. Yeah. So this is the slide we have included where there is no accessibility implemented. So this was the site of HBO, which was, faced many impairments because of the low contrast visibility of the text. And let's learn what is bad accessible design. So you can see that you cannot exactly read what is written here on the screen. And we'll see how we can improve this using implementing accessibility. So only some contrast can make it accessible for everyone to see and make better user experience.
Yes, that's me. Thank you. So yes, we'll discuss some accessibility in documentation that we try to incorporate. I'll give you one example. For example, let's say if a user buys a microwave, but that particular user doesn't know how to, set a timer or use the different power levels. A simple step-by-step installation guide help them understand how to heat their food properly or how to set the timer. So this guide act as a bridge between the product as well as the user. And I'll use the same example of microwave for enhancing the usability. So if a guide is organized with clear headings like how to set the timer and maybe how to use the defrost mode, the user can easily find what they need, and including the images of the button, including the screenshots, and the digital display can enhance the usability and the understanding. The third one is building user confidence. So for example, by explaining some safety tips like using microwave safe containers or showing how to set a child lock, the user feels more confident and safe using the microwave. And consider, so next one is importance of accessibility. So inclusive access. For example, consider a user who has a difficulty reading a small text from a website or from a document. If the guide uses a larger font size or a high contrast colors, it becomes easier for them to read and include, and this can improve their we can also include the descriptive captions, alt text for images. So yeah, and how technical writers can make difference. The first one is advocating for accessibility. So here the technical writers can suggest adding audio structures or a QR code which can lead or which can link to the direct video tutorial. And of course, the last one is continuous learning and adaptation. So by staying updated with accessibility guidelines like WCAG, we'll learn about that in the upcoming slides, so that writer can continue to improve the documentation. So yes, understanding the WCAG guidelines. It stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So every document, every website nowadays uses these standards. These are like international guidelines that help the users or the writers or everyone to make more accessible content or more accessible websites. So I'll go next. Why WCAG important? Because an equal access, it ensures that people with disabilities such as visual hearings or cognitive or motor impairments can access and use web content easily. Yes, there are legal compliances. Many countries require websites and digital content to follow such WCAG guidelines. Then better user experience, and the last one is SEO benefit. The next one is, yes, whenever we design or whenever we document or create a document, we think about these main four principles. Yes, we call it POR. The one is perceivable. The content should be easy to see or hear. So I'll give you an example of the perceivable. It is like adding an alt text to image so the screen readers can describe the image to visually impaired users. The next one is operable, making sure, okay, making sure all the websites functions are accessible through a keyboard without using a mouse. The next one is understandable. So using clear headings and straightforward language to make content easy to follow. And the last one is robust, using a proper HTML tags so assistive technologies can correctly interpret and present the content. So right now you must be thinking it is very overwhelming to design or write a content with keeping these principles in mind, but trust me, whenever we have to think about from the user's perspective, we have to wear those shoes and then write the docs or create a design or simply design a website. Yeah.
Yeah, so practical techniques for implementing accessibility in designs. So we'll see that. So what are headings? Headings are titles or subtitles that organize content on a page. So heading levels are extremely important whenever you are documenting or creating any digital content in order to, make understand all the users what is exactly the heading, subtitle, and all the levels of content there is present. Headings help users quickly understand the main topics and subtopics. Different levels of headings are marked as H1, H2, H3, and H4. H1 being the highest level of heading that any document contains, which is the title of the document. And H2 is the main sections under H1, and H3 being the subsections under H2. Go next. Alt text for images. So alt text is short for alternative text, which is a short description of the image. And alt text is very useful when we use screen readers, for users with visual impairments. And screen readers read the alt text instead of reading the file name of the image. So we should mention alt text for every image that we use in any digital content. And yeah.
It's me again. So yeah, what is text? So the link text is like clickable text. Basically, in a nutshell, it is a hyperlink, and it should describe like where the link will take the users or what the content they will find. So we have used some examples, like we cannot simply go and write like click here. We have to tell the user like by clicking here where it is leading us. So for example, if we just simply right click here but without any context, we have to write like read for more information, or at least give some context like for more information see or click read the API documentation. So these are some of the examples we have given. Yes, language and readability. So best practices for clear language. So language and readability refer to how easy it is for users to read and understand the written content. So the goal to make the content clear, concise, and straightforward. So so when we write the content, we keep these principles or we follow these practices, like you have to use the active voice. If you can see the example, the software was installed by the user. But if we write it in the active voice, it becomes the user installed the software. It is more easier and clear to understand. And the last one, I would say the last one is very important, which is like avoid double negatives. They confuse readers. It is not uncommon to find issues. It is common to find issues. So, yeah. The next one is how to improve readability. So, easy to read content keeps user engaged, and it reduces the frustration. So you can see that into point number 2, like we have to use short sentences and paragraphs. You can see the example, the implementation of the system was completed successfully by the team. It is too huge, and we can simply just make it the team successfully implemented the system. So these are the examples that you can refer to. Yes, so this is like a fun, not so fun activity. So here, take a look at this and try to, will give you some time to think about it. And yeah, don't worry, we have answers as well. But if you want, you can make it simple.
So based on the examples that we provided in earlier sites, you can rearrange them and make them more accessible for users.
Does anyone have any suggestion? No? No suggestions? You directly, sorry? Okay. We are so sorry for that. But we have answers here. So yes, I won't go ahead and read each and every answer, but you can see the difference there. We have reduced the word size. We have uh, avoided the passive voice as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so some common tools and methods that we should use for accessibility. So these are some tools that we can use for creating some digital content regarding documentation or designs as well. So for screen readers, we have NVDA, which stands for Non-Visual Desktop Access in Windows, which is a screen reader for people with visual impairments, and VoiceOver is a screen reader for Apple products. And browser plugins like Wave and Axe are developer friendly tools which will help you gauge accessibility issues and fix them while you are creating any digital content. And other helpful tools we have is color contrast analyzers, which ensure the text on the website is easy to read and accessible. Also, we have the keyboard navigation test from Browser Stack, which ensures that the website is totally accessible without a mouse, only using the keyboard. Let's move ahead.
Yes. So, yeah. Sorry. You must be wondering why there are so many cat memes. So we both are like cat lovers. So yes. So collaborative culture means working together as a team to achieve a common goal. I would suggest why collaboration is more important here in accessibility, because it brings different perspectives. Each team member brings unique insights. For example, technical writers, so writers focus on clear languages. Designers ensures good contrast and layout, a very nice design, a very nice layout. Developers make sure to navigate, navigation works for all the users. And the last one, like the testers, these are the main, like verify accessibility with real users and assistive technologies. Yeah. Any questions? We are open.
Yeah.
Can you come up with any top reasons as to why accessibility couldn't be introduced to a particular website? For example, if I take any random government website, it would be safe to assume that it is far enough from being called as an accessible website. So is it a skill issue or a will issue or a lack of awareness issue? Like, any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll go with lack of awareness, because if you have seen the UI for MSRTC or, yeah, while booking, or LIC, Aadhaar card, yes. So it is lack of awareness. Yeah.
Time, also time constraints may be an issue for government websites, I would say. Any other?
Yeah. Any other? Yes.
So basically, what doubt that I had is like basically I have a website in which you have many, like you can add your own wallpapers in it, and there's text over it. And so you talked about how the HBO example was a bad kind of like on a user because there was no contrast in it.
Correct.
So in my case, where you have like variable wallpapers and you cannot control what's the background, what can I do so that the text is more visible? Because right now it's just plain white, and sometimes with some wallpapers, it tends to get kind of like blurred out and you can't read it. So what are the steps that I can take in that case?
हाँ काला नहीं, I don't know. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, so basically I have my own kind of extension where the wallpaper changes. Like you can change the wallpaper, right? And
Right.
sometimes the wallpaper is dark, sometimes it is light. So it's kind of variable. You don't know what color is going to be. So the text that's over it, it's white. So what happens is like in some wallpapers, you can't read what's there, the text that's there. So what can I do so that it kind of increases the accessibility on it?
So I think there is an option for borders for text as well. So you can enable that, and with the borders, with the white text, you can easily see the text if there is no contrast as well.
So what I should do is like I should add a border on the
Yeah,
text.
border to the text.
Okay.
If it is not in your hand, the wallpapers are dynamic that you're seeing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I would like to add something to whatever he asked. So you might use the CSS in which you can sync the wallpaper color as well as the font color, because JavaScript and CSS provide such functionality go with synchronization, so that you can also provide the accessibility as well as helps you, users to read that text over that wallpaper. It is possible. Thanks. So
Yes.
my question is, okay, so my question is, as per your experience, whatever the main points that you have observed, the guides that had been provided by the organizations like Google, Red Hat for the accessibility and the WCAG.
Okay, the very first one I have been experiencing is like headings. We have to use like clear headings, and another one is the color palette or the colors which we use on our documents on our website should be tested like with the color blindness, or the colors which we use on it should be should be verified with. There are like multiple platforms where we can see, like there are like, I'm not sure about the color blindness, but I guess there are like 7 to 8 types. So by including all of those things into our document, and then we can go ahead and write it. So these are my few insights or my sense.
Anything from your end?
Experience.
Thanks.
Any more questions, or we are done?
It's okay.
Done.
Thank you.